What's up, you guys? I'm back. It's Ossie the Art. Okay, and if you don't know me, you've never seen me, I'm a professional bad bitch. Just kidding, not on the bad bitch part, but on the fact that you've never seen me. Anyways, I got on here. I just made a little lunchy poo. It's frozen behind burrito situation. Did some spinach. Got an old Taco Bell sauce packet. And it says, too good to not be true. I know I'm looking busted, crusted, dusted. Usually I like to put in a little fit, you know, something for the occasion. I like to put on a bust down or something, but I mean, you haven't seen me in a minute, y'all, because I don't know. I just don't feel like it's, oh my God. All my spinach is flying. I just don't feel like that right now serves my purpose. Don't get me wrong. A bee likes to dress up. A bee will dress up. But right now, I just need to get my point across. And I decided to share some lunch with you guys. Look at these cute little... I forgot that my friend made this for... Oh, I was like, what's that inside of it? I forgot. I have a 2-packet and some lemon. I've been just pouring me up some tea. Hopefully you guys can hear me. But it's been a minute. It's been a minute. It is the new year. I just felt compelled to do something, a new video. Do a new video right now. We'll see what comes out. You'll already know kombucha down. This is my newest batch of kombucha. It works like a charm, honey. And I'm starting my day off late too. It's like literally 4 p.m. or something. I'm just sitting here, and lately, honest to God, like things have just been not physically tougher, but emotionally. I don't even want to say emotional. Okay, y'all know how recently I told y'all I got into antidepressants. And then the antidepressants, they work. They've been doing their job. Like, they're anti-anxiety, antidepressants. And they do their job, but I'm just realizing really, it's just that same like energy with addiction, like in coping and things that we use to cope. All of it is just piggybacking on blocking our receptors of emotions, of feelings, and ultimately trust. And I feel like with the antidepressants, it's helpful in a survival stance, in a logical stance. It helps me be extremely rational, where if you have a mental illness that's keeping you, you know, like I said, I do struggle with OCD and obviously depression, anxiety, anything like that. It does help me rationalize certain emotions. So before, if I had ideations that was like, oh my God, I effing fly, that would make me be like, I just need to end it all. And now it's more of like, well, Aussie, let's think more logically. How can we get these, you know, problems solved? How can we move forward? But for a spiritual standpoint, it is not helpful. It blocks off my hope. It blocks off my trust and my imagination, mostly, of realizing that I don't have to do it all alone. Before, even though I was off my rocker and maybe too much into my imagination, where I was I could go through psychosis or something, like now it's like everything has to be figured out by me, and I've just been more stressed than normally. And normally I can go through a lot. I can go through some heavy things. I'm talking about traumatic things and be perfectly smiley, perfectly fine, still, you know, struggling on, like, but now I'm like more stoic, and I'm still perfectly fine. Like, I'm not losing my ish. If anything, I'm more grounded than ever, still going through traumatizing things. And it just don't feel right. I feel like I should be crying at this moment. I feel like I should be freaking out at this moment. Instead it's like, okay, what can we do next? How can I solve this? Which is good to an extent. But then you start feeling at the end of the night, when you're just by yourself, you start feeling that loneliness of like, whoa, the world is on my shoulders. And I think that's where the realization, if y'all could see, should I flip it around? Y'all could see how beautiful the sunset is. You see? You probably barely can. And it's crazy, the sun sets at 5 now. I don't like that. But, what was I saying? Dang it, what was I saying? That's actually really good. Y'all, it busts through the seams. It's like a elote, chicken vibe. I thought it was gonna be nasty because it's like a freezer food, but that's delicious. I think so. But hold on, let me pause it really quick so I can see where I left off. Oh, that's what I was saying. I remember. Okay, how like before, and that's why I was saying the whole out of touch thing. Like before, I would literally be, I didn't realize how people couldn't see my perspective. What do you mean you can't hear that the trains are honking because it's confirmation of what I'm saying? What do you mean you can't see that the sun rises and like over here because it's trying to shine light to show a cast a shadow of like, it was, every single thing was so connected. Every single thing was so green. Every single thing was so beautiful and vibrant. And even in the dark moments, I could hear God and I could see God in every single thing. Everything was a sign. Like even right here, you see how like this cup, I keep looking at it, it has like this mark right here. I keep seeing it as a heart, like over and over. I just feel like before the signs were so strong, and you can call me delusional, you can call me sick, you can call me all these things, but at the end of the day, it was an unbreakable trust that I had in God, and it worked out for me. I mean, and again, I'm not trying to sound cocky. I'm being realistic. I will speak about God all day and about how God has done wonderful things in my mind, in my life. I did not mean to say mind, but in my mind as well. Like honestly, the breakthroughs that I got from God, it is undeniable. And I don't care if you don't believe me. But the part that really hurts me is now that I can see other people's perspectives of when they were low vibrational in this trapped mind, when you are very logical and in your head and you're very, sticks and stones, like you're very by the rule book, or your mind is blocked off. It is impossible to see it from that perspective. So nothing does seem like a sign. It feels like when I'm around people, like I can't imagine that they have a soul behind their eyes. It just feels like it feels like I'm gonna, how they say like the simulation, where it's like everyone's a projection of my mind. This person is just doing this to get under my skin, or this person's doing this to try to manipulate me, to use me, and whatever. These signs, everything's trying to hurt me. Like you start becoming, like it's easy to become a victim of your circumstances when you don't even realize how everything is perfectly gifted to you and blessing you somehow. And I had to talk to God, because also recently I've been getting back on social media just to like try to message people back. But then, I see I see like, the explore page. I'm like, shoot, might as well. So I start scrolling around, and I just feel more and more sick on those days than ever. Like the days I go on social media is not a good day, honey. It's not a good day. But I realized like, no, like I'm telling you, social media it's great for connectivity, but honestly, we don't need to be that connected. We don't, I know it's like, well, humans now can like, you can talk to anyone at any time zone, at any way. Like we don't need all that. That overstimulation, we do not need all of that. I'm telling you, we start playing BitLife on God mode, and it's like, oh no, like we're doing too much. The days that are simple and slow, and I just come out here and I just look at the world. I look at how the birds interact with each other. I look at the stray dogs running down the street. I hear the wind and the train and the rain and the rocking chair. Like all of it is unified, and I just get to eat, and I get to maybe watch a Hallmark Christmas movie about love, and like those days are the best days, that where it's just simple. I'm running and racing, and I'm trying to make this connection, and I'm trying to hang out with this person, and I'm trying to make these plans, and I'm trying to post this, and I feel pulled in a million directions, and none of it feels like Aussie. It all feels like a projection. I'm trying to create this character that everyone needs to believe, but then the more you create a character, the further you're pushing people away. So then they just trust in your character, and then they think that character can't have emotions and feelings, and no one gives a F about your feelings, but mainly because you didn't create an atmosphere to give a F about your feelings. And then you push too much, you expect people to care about your feelings and to be there and to understand when they don't even understand themselves. And then you just put all this trust into man and put it into yourself, and then it backfires, and then you wonder why you're lonely at the end of the night, every single night. And it's just like I said in my last video, I deeply apologize for being so out of touch and not realizing like it's not a choice that people are, well, it kind of is, but not like a definite choice that people are, they can't see God, they can't see the spirits, it's not a choice. It's sometimes if you've relied on yourself for so long, you think you're doing it right by reciting prayers and by reading the Bible and by telling people about God, but honey, that's called memorization. That's why I never, out of all the subjects in school, history always was a doozy for me. Math, you actually have to come up with new, it's the same problem solving skills, but it's new problems. But when it comes to history, it is literally just reciting and memorizing, like textbook, literally. That's how I feel about habits and like routines and all of it. You get so accustomed to doing certain things, you keep doing it, eventually it becomes like, you know, natural, and it's no longer penetrating your soul. You no longer feel anything if you ever did. And I even think back to a time I was laying in bed today, and I'm like, dang, back in 2020 when I started my spiritual journey, I first met God, and I swear to God I died. Like, I'm not kidding. It's to this day the only experience I've ever had that was like that in my entire life. I meditated for 6 years. I tell everybody this story. 6 years. I guess, yeah, I've been meditating for 6 years now. Oh yeah, that's like, it's Happy New Year. Oh my God, this forehead, honey. But I meditated for 6 hours straight. And I'm not talking about sleeping. I genuinely, because back then I used to astral project a lot. Like, I had a gift, and everyone has told me, like, even the psychic in Miami, I was walking down the street and she literally looked me right in my eyes and she's like, you have the gift of dreams. And it's like passed down in my family lineage. Like, my great grandmother, my mother, my ex-mother, yeah, they all have the gift. Like, my grandma, not my great grandma, my grandma, well, I'm pretty sure my great grandma too, but my grandma, she's able to tell who in the family is pregnant. She'll have dreams about fish. I just like get actual, like, just messages, like, from spirits. They'll like say, like, we all have the gift of dreams. And I used to be able to astral project, and people would literally call me up, text me, and be like, were you in my dream? Like, this happened, this, that, and that. And I literally had a dream about them the night before. Or because I rarely intentionally tried to visit people. Either way, we can get into that on another day. Right now, let's kiki about this meditation. So I meditated for 6 hours straight, and I'm not kidding. I got past the astral projection plane, where, like, you're just, like, still on this earth, like, just visiting people and just, like, in a dream world with people. I got past that, and I got to another realm that I have never ever experienced, and to this day it was the only time I've ever experienced that. And it never left me. I remember every single detail, inch. I remember every part of it. And in this dreamlike state, ultimately, long story short, I had meditated for so long, and I literally, kid you not, my body starts shaking, like, and I'm like, don't be scared, just push through it, like, it's okay, I got it. And I finally broke through the barrier. Like, I'm telling you, my body was like seizing, and I finally broke through it, and I was still in meditative state. And tell me why, it was just straight space, like, up there above the clouds, above everything. It was just space, like stars and darkness. And I'm in this space, and I'm not a body at all. Like, when I tell you, forget not a body, I cannot tell you who Ossie was, for the love of God. It literally, like, just really hit me in that moment that, like, wow, all of these things as a character, not only is this a vessel, literally just a meat suit, but the storylines, the everything. And I will never forget God, like, I don't know, it was just like this energy. It was like, nothing was separate from me. Everything was me, but I wasn't a thing. I was space. I was everything. Like, I don't know how to explain it. And the energy that I felt, I want to say God told me, but it wasn't even like God was separately from me. It was more of like a consciousness, kind of like if you were to close your eyes, like literally just close your eyes, not sleep, nothing, just close your eyes and be like, what's going on? I wonder, like that. It was kind of like if you were just in a dark place and you could hear your thoughts, but it wasn't thoughts. It was like, you know how thoughts are in your head, like they're separate from the world? I don't know how to explain it, y'all. I don't know how to explain it, but nothing was separate from me, and there was nothing. Like, you know how, like, there's things and there's space in between things, right? So, like, 2 cups, and the cups, 1 cup, 2. I was the space in between the 2 cups, and I wasn't 2 cups. You get what I mean? Anyways, I'm in space, and literally God was telling me, like, I just felt this urge to let go. And I'm talking about, it hit me that life, we hold on to life. That's why they always say, like, when people are dying, walk into the light, just let go. You will never understand the feeling unless you've done it yourself, like really meditated. I'm pretty sure some people can do psychedelics and get there. Not me. When I do psychedelics or anything, like even smoking, like, I become more low vibrational. Like, I become more in my physical body. Like, it's not like, they call it getting high, but it's definitely getting low. But anyways, I'm in this state, and I literally just feel the urge to let go. And I had the strongest feel. I have been practicing meditating like this for literal, like, weeks at this point, and this was the furthest I had ever gotten, and it literally said let go, and I was like, my consciousness was like, but wait, I'm going to die. Like, it literally felt like I was about to meditate straight out of my body. You know how people like wake up dead and they're like, yeah, they just went to sleep and they never woke up. That's how I felt. Like, oh my god, I'm going to die. Like, it felt like that energy, and it was a twinge of like fear. It was a twinge of fear. Tell me why. My brain was like, what are you holding on for? Like, what is there? And I was like, my family. What about the world? What about my future, my legacy? When I tell you God said what family? I kid you not. I literally could not remember I couldn't remember what family meant. It literally felt almost like the energy of like them random bees that you've been playing pretend with. It felt like that. And that was the first time I ever detached from my family, where I realized that, like, I know this is a hot take and this is probably hard to really grasp what I'm saying. There was no such thing as these things. Like, there was no such thing as family or relationships, or I literally could not remember them. And that also kind of confused me, because I'm like, we have such an idea of when spirits die, like when people die, like they come back for their family and all that stuff like that. You know, in the episode, I don't know, this is not a spoiler, but this might be a spoiler. If you watch Game of Thrones, okay, spoiler alert, you watch Game of Thrones, you know how when Bran, he went to see his dad, Ned Stark, back in the day, when Ned had just like fought those dudes. I mean, he was young. Ned had fought those dudes, and Bran was the three-eyed raven. Like, he just had he was visiting with the three-eyed raven, and he could see the past, and he was living in the past. It's kind of like the Scrooge, like where he could, like, the present, the past, and the future. It was like he could see the past. He was there in the past. And the dad, for a second, you have to know what episode. You have to, like, know what I'm talking about. But when the dad he fights the people, and he goes up to the castle to visit his sister who just had a baby. He goes to walk, and out of nowhere, Ned turns around and looks directly at Bran. Now, Bran is not actually there. Like, he's physically not there. He's in this happened in the past, okay? 14 more days. You have to bear with me. He was visiting a past experience, but it was actively going on now. So when it's kind of like also the movie Inception. Like, is it called Inception? Or is it Interstellar? I think it's Inception, where the daughter had put a bunch of books in the bookshelf and stuff like that, or something like that, and he was able, oh my god, like, I don't know how to explain this, but it's basically like, what if instead of spirits on the other, because I'm telling you, in this experience, there was no such thing as like mourning. There was no such, not mourning like morning time, but mourning as in mourning your dead relative. Like, wait, but the people left behind. Like, when you leave this plane of existence, you move on to another plane of existence. Like, there was no, and this is not like facts or something that I genuinely believe in. This is something I've seen. So it's like, honestly, I don't know what the truth is, and I think that's okay to not know. Like, let's try to explore all the truths and simmer down what makes the most sense. Now, it was like there was no attachment to this world at all, okay, at all whatsoever. I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel like I was missing out. I didn't feel like I lost my opportunity for life. I felt nothing. So letting go was easy. It was hard because there's something I know I remembered, like something I know I should remember. And like I said, the only thing I could remember was fear, and that was holding me back. But if I just led into the light, this peaceful, warm energy, if I completely let go, I'm telling you, I think I genuinely might have died. I'm not kidding, because it was the most peaceful thing I've ever, like that feeling of nothing. I don't owe anyone nothing. There's no deadlines. There's no one looking out for me. Like, watching it, like trying to find me. Like, it felt the most peace I've ever, like there was nothing mattered. Everything was okay. Everything would always be okay. Everything was okay before me, and everything was okay after me. It was that type of energy. So I'm thinking in this theory that I have, what if the signs that we're seeing, like from spirit, from angels, from God, like, wow, like, what if it's just versions of our past self or future self overlapping each other? Kind of like right now, if I plant a seed, yeah, literally, if I plant a seed, and then the future me sees the tree and the fruits that I planted, but the past me already was planting the fruit. Like, that's like obvious. That's an obvious one, but I hope I'm making sense. I'm probably not. Hopefully. What if it's just versions of ourselves setting little footsteps, like helping ourselves out. Different versions of ourselves, different dimensions, different, like, what if it's all happening at once and it's all just layering on top of each other? Even in the movie, I always quote the everything all at once, everything everywhere all at once, or anytime, or whatever that. Even in that movie, how she was able to like just jump dimensions, like, and it was just like, but it was all happening, and you see like in each version of the dimensions, everything was still synced up. What if they're all layered? And lately I've been watching Stranger Things too. Did y'all finish the season finale? And just like Stranger Things has also been showing me how like the different dimensions, what if it's all layered? You know how like the upside down, it's exactly like the replica of the world, just like upside down and all evil and stuff. Like, I don't know. And I miss thinking like that. I miss my mind being open and receptive to that. And I think the only reason I'm able to touch that idea anymore right now is because I've been sitting out here for a couple hours, just like soaking in, you know, the world. And I haven't been on social media today or nothing. And I'm telling y'all, like, I'm not trying to be one of those, you know, those freaks that's like, no, like, social media is bad for us. It's corrupting our brain and all. It's the overstimulation. It's the lack of originality. It's the coping. That's what it is. I think more than any of the it's coping. All we do is cope all day long. All day long, all we do is cope. And it's like, what if we just suffer? What if we suffer? And I know that's a hot take. You're like, what? Who? But I'm just saying, lately I've been really stressed, like really, really stressed. And like my life is really just changing all over again, like it does every single couple of months. Like, I'm not surprised. And I'm moving on to my next chapter. And I've been anticipating this for so long, and I knew it was already going to be a little rocky, that first step, but I knew it was coming, and I still act surprised every single time, and I act disappointed, and I act confused, and I act, you know, all these things every time, and God just bears with me and is like, yep, you did this last time too. When will you just trust me? And I don't think God wants me to blindly trust him for no reason either way. Like, I felt it so strong. Lately I've been trying to convince myself, just stop. Like, why are you stressed? It's like, no, I'm going through a stressful moment in my life. It's okay to stress. It's okay. It's just stop trying to figure it out yourself. And I know you're like, but deadlines, but rules, but, you know, time limits. But people, you know. And I asked God the other day, I said, okay, God, I'll follow your plan. I'll follow what because clearly everything I try is just falling through. Nothing's working out. Nothing. Just like when I was in Florida trying to get to Texas. And it was just one thing after another. But see, that was that thing of the past. I've got here. I've been here for a couple months now. Everything worked out. Don't even remember how stressful and terrible it was to try to figure things out and rely on people. And we got through it, and new problems arose. We'll get through this too. And I asked God, I said, but what if I suffer? And he said, what if you suffer? And I said, no, I asked that. This question. And he said, like, he just kept saying, what if you suffer? Will you not get through that as well? I've got you through all these things. And you've suffered every time. Does suffering ruin you? And I'm like, yeah, kind of. I'm never the same. And he said, why would you want to be the same? The only people who stay the same are the dead. Look at all the birds. I would turn around, but you probably can't even pick it up. It's so, when I tell you, just like so many, like just fleets of birds. It's crazy. But it just basically, my message is, and I said that all to say, this is gonna be a long behind message. Hopefully I can cut it, chop it, and screw it, honey. But Bubba, you better not be eating that tree. Stop it, Bubba. Lately he's been eating trees. Like, not the bark, but the actual, like, leaves and sticks and stuff. I don't know. I said that all to say, don't fear suffering. And I don't mean staying in a relationship with someone who's abusive. And I don't mean staying in a dead-end job. And I don't mean that at all. I mean resisting those things and suffering afterwards. Yes, if you leave a broken relationship, yeah, you might be broke. Yeah, you might be lonely. Yeah, you might not have transportation. Yeah, you might have to, you know, struggle to struggle, as simple as that. If you leave a job, you might, yeah. And I know a lot of us don't want to leave one struggle for another, but at least there's a struggle that gets you somewhere. You staying in a dead-end place will not get you anywhere, so you're struggling in vain. And don't get mad at the end of it and blame God for how long you wasted. That's your fault. You wasted all that time when the signs were obvious. To move on is brave and courage, and it's hard. See, even now, I feel the urge to cry, but my eyes, like, they won't do it. That medicine got me in a chokehold, honey. It's just that energy of, like, don't be afraid to struggle for a purpose, to go somewhere for a reason. And even if you fail, is it really failing if you were courageous? And I feel like sometimes God just... Stop! I feel like sometimes God just wants us to be courageous, to prove to ourselves that we could do it, that we made it out. And just stop downplaying yourself. And most importantly, stop downplaying God. And God will take the longest effing route just to get to where you're going. Just to learn all the things in between. And I pray, I sit here and I cry sometimes, and I really do think, Lord, it could all just be so simple. I'm not asking for $1 million. I'm not asking for a trip to Dubai, honey. I just simply want stability, and I want safety. And I'm pretty sure that's almost everyone's prayer. But you can't have stability without a stable footing. And sometimes we're like a table, and we only got 2 or 3 legs, honey. And we need 4. And it hurts to get, the 4th leg pegged in and screwed in and all that stuff. It hurts. But I promise you can't have stability with just 3 legs. You'll fall every time, and it will be for no reason. So, I think that's all I got. I love you guys so much. Bless up. Until next time, I hope you guys had a beautiful new year, a beautiful last year. I'm sorry I've been so MIA. But I think that's just being authentic, honestly. That I just need to be true to my timeline. And most importantly, I'm sorry for how I showed up before. I'm sorry for my ignorance. I'm sorry for my being out of touch. I'm sorry for my unrelatability. And I'm so happy, oh my God, that nobody, I think, really watched those videos. Except for the select few. And the ones who did stick around, after watching that back, like, I don't know why y'all are here. Like my 40, 50 subscribers, and the couple of views I get, like, thank you guys. Now God trying to shut me up. Thank you guys for being here, for supporting me. Whoa, that plane is so low. For supporting me even through all of the messy moments and the disgusting and annoying moments, and it's so crazy how fast I transform, and I feel like I just keep changing each day a little bit more until I reflect back and I'm like, whoa, a lot has changed. And I didn't feel like that in the moment, but hopefully this is a reflection. But I love you guys so much. Let me finish my cold behind lunch. Burrito bros, boom boom. Hard, honey. Anyways, bless up. Until next time. Love you. Everybody.